Hello, good morning, everyone. I trust we all had a wonderful week, although it has been a weekful day or a weekful week full of activities and combining it with learning. So, we want to welcome us once again to this session today. Please kindly confirm that you can hear me by typing 1 in the chat room. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly confirm by typing 1 in the chat room. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, kindly confirm by typing 1 in the chat room. Is someone hearing me? If you can hear me, kindly confirm by typing 1 in the chat room. You can hear me very clearly. Please kindly confirm by typing 1 in the chat room. All right, thank you so much. Without any further ado, we'll go straight to the course of today. We've already taken 10 minutes, and Saturdays are like engagement days for many people. But we will do our best to make sure that we stream and also do the recording. So please, today we'll be having one of our very own, Mr. Iken Okafor, that will be taking us on some of the sections today. He is called an SME doctor because of his high prowess in business intelligence and business management. He is currently working with one of the leading multinational oil companies in Nigeria, and he's also a certified HR. So you call him Oga HR, and you call him SME doctor. So he'll be taking us today on the sections that he'll be taking. So please, let's make welcome Mr. Iken Okafor as he takes over the session. You're welcome, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, my very able Dr. Banito. Thank you for the introduction. Today, we will be taking another segment of our course. We'll be taking another important segment of our course, which has to do with customer management. You will agree with me that customer management is very important in everything we do, right? So we will be talking about market analysis, knowing your customers, customer segmentation, targeting, and positioning. All right. We've done business plan. We've done business plan some days ago. We did business plan some days ago, and I know that we discussed part of what is going to be discussed now. What this lecture is just doing is what I may call a reinforcement. For those in the construction line will understand what I mean when we say when you're using reinforcement. So it means there's already the cement, the sand is there, but you are only adding the rod to make it more strong and more firm. I am Iken Michael Okafor, known as Oga HR. I'm also known as SME doctor because I treat, after I've diagnosed small and medium enterprises. All right. I am a writer. and a speaker and a trainer, a HR professional. Above all, I am a man. All right. So we'll be having discussion today on our topic. So the objective of this course, after this session, participants are expected to know the importance of market segmentation. We should also know how to segment our market and our customers, how to determine our markets, how to provide superior customer service, how to attract, retain, and maintain our customers. First of all, every business owner and every business must create a niche for itself. I'll take that again. Every business owner and every business must create a niche for itself. In the early centuries, a very renowned economist, David Ricardo, spoke about comparative advantage. That nations should engage in goods and services where they have comparative advantage over other nations. By so doing, we are talking about, by extension, specialization. That we should. You are not catering for everybody. You are not, everybody is not your customer. Everybody is not your client. The whole market is not your market. So your ability to streamline your market, your ability to understand your market, to understand whom you are serving, distinguishes you from others. We're going to take a very practical example between company like BMW and company like Toyota. They have two different markets. They are not dragging customers. Okay. The same thing applies to Mazda's. Mazda's customers are very different from customers of, let's say, Honda. They are very, very different. Do we agree? Let me see your response in the chat room. Let me see your response in the chat room. For those just joining, we said that the market of Lexus is different of BMW. It's not the same market that Toyota is operating in, that they are different markets entirely. Do you agree with me? Also, the market of Mazda's is different from the market of let's say Honda. They have different. Okay, so I'm saying not really, not exactly. Let's go. I'll keep it open. Your lines are open. You can let me unmute. So Maxwell, the line is open. Dr. Alex, the line is open too. So any of you who is the first, we want to discuss.
Okay, hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. This is Dr. Alex talking. So go ahead, Dr. Alex. Okay. But Dr. Alex have not. No, Dr. Alex, go ahead. You have the floor.
If we say the countries where they produce, yes, but that the market is different, I don't think so. Though there are people who have special preference for special brands of cars, I agree. But these same people, you will see that they will have one Toyota, have one BMW, have one Mercedes, especially in our Nigerian situation. So the market is not totally different. It's the same automobile market. and sedan market.
Are they the same automobile market? Maybe I use what market. Is it the same customers? You can keep your line open. Are they the same customers?
Yes, the same customer. Like I said, same customers like to buy different brands of cars. Some customers like to buy different brand of cars. So it's the same customer. To some extent, yes. There's no line of distinction between the customers.
Okay. All right. Yes. Mr. Maxwell.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am Maxwell. Yeah, just like my other brother said, I don't see a clear line of distinction between customers that prefer, for instance, Toyota, Lexus, and customers that prefer Mercedes. You know, number one is that, you know, some people like owning variety of cars. That's number one. And secondly, you can see somebody who is doing Honda or Toyota today and is aspiring to own a Mercedes in the next few months. You know, in the current buying behavior of people, for instance, people like us now, you know, I drive a Lexus I feel I love so much, but I'm also looking at, okay, within a few months, I want to own a particular brand of Mercedes. I own a Honda, I own a, you know, but I think is sometimes what creates this decision may be financial, you know, power. But in the buying behavior of many people today, most people who own Toyota or own Lexus today want to own Mercedes in the nearest future. So I don't see a very clear distinction. Thank you.
Okay, so that's very, now you've hit the point. When you are making market segmentation, income plays a very important role. Income plays a very important role. Very, very important. That is where the difference comes in. That is where the difference comes in. Mercedes, BMW, Lexus have one name. They call them luxury cars. Luxury cars. It's not for someone earning 65,000 naira. Can someone earning 65,000 naira choose to buy it if he can somehow raise money to get it? Yes. But if that person is not in the luxury strata of the society, of the social strata of society, if Mercedes have their way of collecting their car back, I'm very sure they would, because they are, for as far as they are concerned, Mercedes, BMW, and Lexus are in the minds of the manufacturers. They are luxury cars, so they are not even for the what in Nigerian society we call the average masses. It's for the high and mighty. That is what they've registered in our head. Let's go again to, and let's use another typical, because we're going to use a practical example. It's not just about talking and talking. We want to really see it playing out in our society. Let's go again to iPhone. iPhone, unlike now that you see that people even go and buy second-hand iPhone, and everybody can use I remember when I was staying in a place before where I do buy water. So they call them Merua. That's people that sells water. So the Merua came to put water in my house, and the phone was ringing. It was an iPhone. I was like, is this really an iPhone? I had to look at it. It was really an iPhone. Then it was, I think, the ringing iPhone. I asked him, did you buy it? He said yes. He said, did you really buy it? He said, yes. How much did you buy it? He bought it then for 75,000 naira. I was like, wow. And myself then I was using a phone of 40,000 naira. And I was like feeling like, oh, I'm among those who are using. And Idris could get a 70,000 naira iPhone. So, but you know, the iPhone market, if you understand it very well, it's not for everybody. Or in their thinking, they didn't make it for everybody. But today, everybody is, you know, trying to, if you even see those who are not working using iPhone. There was someone that I was discussing with the other day. She has not working for some years now. But The other day, I met her serious. So she's using is it iPhone 12 or 11? I don't know which of them. She's using. I said, "How do you get to say it's God though?" I said, "Okay, fine, it's God." iPhone, really, in their thinking, is not for people who would tell you, it's God that provides. People that I can just close their eye and bring 1 million and buy it. That's their thinking. Let's also come to our Nigerian market too. In those days, when you agree with me that milk was not for everybody. Milk was for only the rich and the mighty. And which was the leading milk then? Pig milk. Pig milk was the leading milk those days. Their target market was the rich. But there was this gap in the market. That is why in those days, you will go and buy, when you buy pig milk, you will use the one you want to remain. They use paper, they use paper and seal the mouth, and either put, if you have fridge, good for you, you put in your fridge. If you don't have fridge, you put water in a bowl and put the the milk inside. I hope we're understanding what I'm saying. But then competitors came into the market, and that's which people cowbell. And look at their advert. You can go back and look at the advert. Why Peak is telling you you need pig milk to make you have a retentive memory. You have cowbell came and they were like, bang, bang, bang. Now the milk will be this, so that you see the market was different. The target market that they were looking for was not even the rich any longer. It was the average Nigerian, as we call, and downward, that can afford a 10 naira, a 5 naira milk. Peak was formerly in liquid, but they had to bend to cater for that gap in the economy. So understanding that financial power has a way to define your behavior, your buying pattern. It has a way. When we did elasticity of demand, there were some certain parameters that was used. That is exactly what is coming into play here. In our economics, it's called elasticity of demand and supply. But at this advanced level now, it is now a cowbell or milk. Thank you, Mr. You know, so the first thing you see when you see someone using an Apple laptop, for instance, is class. Is class. You will agree with me with that as well. That the minute you see it is class. Oh wow, this is an Apple laptop, Apple iPhone. In fact, the laptop is like, oh, this snaky, this, it's smooth, it's fast, even when it's not giving you what you want. I was talking to somebody who was telling that a particular phone is limited, that you can't access so many apps. You better go back to Android. And so it's all this, understanding this is very important. Let's take again another example. I'm saying this so that we can open our mind as we discuss further. Let's take another example of the brie wheel. Brie wheel. Brie wheel, the Nigerian brie wheel. You will know that, will I say brie wheel or alcohol in general, all those beer and that, I don't know how to differentiate them. That certain brand is for certain gender. They made us to understand, even when it's not clearly written on it. You see that it's for example, once you take once you're in a bar and a man, you ask for malt, they'll be like, or let's say you go out with a man and a lady and a guy went out, and they just said to the waiter, get me one malt and one hero. When the waiter is bringing it back, automatically the malt will land on the lady's table. Automatically the hero will land on the guy's table, even when it is the guy that wants the malt. But let him even use alcohol, both alcohol content. Let's use Smirnoff and Hero, for instance. Smirnoff, I think, has about is it 6% alcohol? Hero has about 5% or 5.5. why should I think, from what I understand, that Smirnoff alcohol is actually higher. So if Hero is 5%, then Smirnoff should be 5.5, but I know that it's 5% difference. So if a lady and a guy also goes out to a beer parlor and requests for these two drinks, automatically the waiter is likely to drop the Smirnoff without asking on the lady's front, believing that Smirnoff is a lady's drink and Hero is for the men. That is buying behavior, selling behavior, buying culture, and so on and so forth. That is what we are going to look at. If you go to our slide, we see that we're looking at customer management, how we manage our customers. Okay, starting from how we even understand them. I remember I said we've done this in our previous class in business plan, but we not have broken it down in the manner to which we are going to be doing today. So I believe we are now understand the power of our clients. Okay, that our clients, as we say, are kings. Okay, so you have to understand your customer and know exactly what they want. Humans are dynamic. Even the same customer that buys a particular thing, a particular time, might behavior can change during weather, can even be a cause of change in behavioral pattern. It can also be a change in business, like here in the north. Towards the end of by next month now, you start stockings will start selling very high, cardigan will start selling at very high price, head warmer and all that. This is the same customer that earlier on don't even want to have anything to do with that. All right, market segmentation and sizing. This is very important. This course is very important regardless of anywhere you find yourself, even as a lawyer, for instance. As a lawyer, know whom you cater for. Know whom you cater for. I worked in a hotel. When I was working in a particular hotel, I always use this example in market segmentation and market filtering, that a night then was, in fact, of course, I can call them up the hotel, Bolton White Hotel. When I was working in Bolton White Hotel, our rate then was about 20,000 naira. And all of a sudden, after we noticed that we were always having full rooms. We're always having full rooms. So what the management did at that point in time is that we jacked it up to 45,000 a night. We jacked it to 45,000 a night. That was as far back 2013. And people that couldn't really, people that we have, you can call them in this class market bragging, that they are bragging that they can afford Bolton White. Now found that really they couldn't really afford it any longer. It was now left for really the high and mighty. So even when the rooms are not filled, we know that okay, the total number of persons are there that's covered for the entire service charge needed to run the operations of the hotel. So there are various ways to filter and segment your market. Let's proceed. So if we look at this in our screen, we'll see that in blue, all in the market area. When you are developing a product, when you are developing, we are using cars, for instance. We're using cars. So let's try to see if we can use cars to achieve this. So in the blue, we have the automobile market, for instance. So you can change all in the market to automobile market. That's the automobile market general. That's in the blue line. Then you see people in the market area which with a need for the product. The truth is that not everybody needs car. Let me use myself as an example. I have my car now, but I don't drive it as it stands now. My office is in fact, I can walk, my office is 10 minutes walk from my house. And if you want to take Uber, you will spend extra 15, 20 minutes waiting for it to arrive because the operations are not that wide. Uber, Bolt, and what have you, others and the likes. You will spend close to 15, 20 minutes waiting for it to arrive. Now, if I should take Keke, Keke will take me from my front of my house, take me just 15 naira to my workplace. Okay. And if I want to even take drop, like I'm the only one in the Keke will take me 100 naira or maximum 150. I told myself, if I never had a car before now, honestly, I wouldn't have seen the need to get a car. But for those staying in a place like Abuja, of course, we always say in Abuja, car is a necessity. Like when I was in Abuja, so car is a necessity. You need your car to move around Lagos and all those big cities. So the car, which we are using as an example, we of course already had the automobile market. Now, right, narrowing down to people in market area with the need for that particular car. With the need for that particular car. So, for those that need the car, yes, I need the car. But do I have the ability to buy it or not? Right? So now moving to the ones in blue, people in the market area with the ability to pay. So if I want to buy a car, can I get a car of 1 million? Can my income take a car of 1 million or 5 million? That will not inform my decision if I'm going for a Prado G, or if I'm going for a Tundra, or if I'm going for a saloon car or SUV, or if I'm going for brand new, or if I'm going for Tokumbo. Okay, then you go to your markets, people in the area with the need, who have the ability. So two things are coming to play now. One, I need it. Secondly, I have the ability to pay for it. I need it and I have the ability to pay for it. So can you see it now? Let's also go to that car. There are some cars now that is electronic cars. I know some countries are, and I'm scared of a country like Nigeria. What if such? Yes, we'll get there, but when? Because gradually, most of these big countries that are using, we are supplying our oil to, are looking at alternative sorts of using their cars. And what happens, for instance? So electronic cars today, if it is existing in places like US, UK, and every other leading countries, China, or electronic train, can it really work in a country like ours now today? As of today, the answer is, we obviously know the answer. So these are factors that we must take into play. When I was discussing with a lawyer last week, and he was telling, I remember I attended one of my class on market segmentation that he's using it now. That the only thing that he's not using just directly the way I taught it, but he had to just somehow. So I said, what was that? I said, because he's the people, his own target audience are those people that can't afford legal cases. So what he does is he strikes a bargain with the person that, okay, I will take up this case for this percentage of the outcome. So if after the damage, add value rem of 5,000, 5%, 10%, or 20%, depends on what he agrees with his client. That is his own niche he has carved for himself. you see some people in the law, in the legal field as well. You see the likes of Mike or Zekome. It's not catering for. I can't have a case. I'm going to look for Mike or Zekome. The last time I knew, I don't know about today, but as a few years back, I know that his appearance fee is 1.5 million naira. As a few years back, so I don't know as of today. Maybe today is up to 3 million naira. So all these, we must understand the dynamics of the market. We must understand where our product is needed. Let's use pork meat, for instance. Pork meat. You can't engage in pork meat business in the north, and you actually want to compare yourself with someone doing it in the south, any place in this, either south, southeast, or southwest. The person or the company in that place in the south understands the market, that this place, this will affect situating my business here will affect. Hold on, please. Hold on. All right, so sorry for that break. All right, sorry for that break and the noise possibly. Okay, so we have to understand the market segmentation. Which other industry should we use? Which other industry? You can drop it in the chat room. Let's see. We've used product. We've also used service. Okay, so market segmentation. You can drop in the chat room. We'll still come back to that. Market segmentation is the process of dividing a market into groups of customers, i.e., segments that shares choosing characteristics or who respond in similar way to a given set of marketing stimuli, e.g., price, product features, and what have you. There are people that they have the mindset that anything expensive is good. Anything expensive is good. Some people also have the alternative, this thing that anything foreign is good. But I think we've been doing well in our Nigerian cable, for instance. Most times, when I was in construction firm, I know that we don't buy foreign cables, we buy Nigerian cable. So, of course, there are exceptions to everything. So, market segmentation is dividing the entire market into smaller components, into smaller units that you want to serve. Every market has its own market segmentation. No market is the same. From the fast consumer moving products to the oil and gas, even all the companies in the downstream sector, for instance, don't have the same customers. I'll give you an example. Total and a company like Amasco don't serve the same customer. They're in the aspect of the downstream sector. They have like Total. Total is not just in the downstream sector, but I'm taking their downstream sector alone. They don't serve the same customers. So while Amasco is concerned in producing of 1 liter, 2 liters for keke riders, tricycle, which we call tricycle, or bikes, and every other small engines. Total is concerned with vehicles. They produce little of 1 liter and 2 liters, but more of 4 liters, 5 liters, and so on and so forth, and even 20 liters and so on. So you see, these two companies are in the same sector, but they are not, will I say, dragging the same customers. They are not looking for the same customers. Why some companies have regional attitude towards their marketing. You see some products, you find them only in the north. See some products, you find them only in the east. Let's take there is this drink I saw in Plateau State. I had to snap it. It's on my phone the last time I traveled, and I was like, I've never seen this alcohol in my life before. Even in the east, that I know that you see different types of alcohol. It's not there. It's just in Jos. I don't know if anybody knows that drink. It's a very popular drink in Jos. I don't know the name. But before we could see other drinks like Hero, it was very difficult. Why? Because there's how the marketing has programmed it based on the wants and features of that particular product. In fact, with the kind of the kind of customers you want to serve will determine the kind of service you render, and the kind of packaging you will have on your product. Packaging. How will you package your product is determined by as well who you want to serve. Is determined by who you want to serve. Those days, I can remember pap. Hausa will call it cocoa, Yoruba will call it ogi. And what is the Igbo name for pap? And then if you want to buy pap those days, you get it in nylon. Even to today, it still exists in that nylon and in the streets. But somehow, pap found its way to places like ShopRite, Next Cash and Carry, what's that other one? And so many super malls like that. H Medics, you go to their fridge and you see packaged pap, not in nylon any longer. Because now the market has changed. Not necessarily the market, but yeah, but you can say the market, the target customers have changed. Before, Zobo in our primary school used to be sold in just nylon. Zobo used to be sold in just nylon. And the ones in plastic are not even corked. But as time went further, we started seeing Zobo more. In fact, we didn't even see the one in nylon any longer. And the ones in plastic became corked. So the market is different. The market is different. The people, why is market different? Because the people you want to serve are different. Because the people you want to serve are different. So all these are consideration in market segmentation, which we'll see further. So what are the benefits of segmenting your market? What are the benefits of segmenting your market? It will make you to understand the market from the customer's viewpoint. Some of us just sell what we like. We don't care about what other people like. We don't care. I'm going to bring in this down to our things we see every blessed day. I could remember same pap issue. A friend of mine that was packaging pap, and he doesn't like ginger, so he doesn't put ginger in. I say, most people I know, apart from the flavor of ginger, most people like ginger because of the now campaign of the health benefit, especially after the coronavirus period. So if you put ginger in your pap, it's going to be a very good. He said, no, he doesn't like it. I said, you don't like it. And I said, okay, let's call some of our friends. I will call some of our friends. Do you like pap with ginger? I said, yes, you have one. You have? I said, no, I just have one. I said, no. So some of us just want we look at it from our own point of view. Ask yourself, what do the market really want? What does customer really want? Within your area, there's this general saying that those of us in Abuja, we are lazy. Lagos. That is why in a place like Lagos and Abuja was the first place where they kicked off this cooked pot of soup. Abuja and Lagos was the first place that it was kicked off. Finished pot of soup, finished stew, finished this, finished stew and soup. I mean, till today, I have a friend who still buys that. And his family. The wife is working class, he sells working class, don't have the time, and they buy their soup and their stew. Sometimes the person comes to the house to cook, and they pay the person per pot of soup. So you have to understand what you want. So if it is said that, okay, those in Abuja is lazy or are lazy, so as it is said, not my view. So what are the things that takes their time that you can then capitalize on? Let's take laundry. So if this person is lazy, that this person maybe cannot wash his or her clothes by himself. So you need a laundry man. So this laundry man, will this person still be chance to go and drop off his laundry clothes? But that's even another aspect of market segmentation now. You're going to add other things like pickup delivery, but that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is you have to understand what the market needs in the primary service you are rendering. The next is exploit its strengths for better selecting compactable market segments. Every market has a strength. Every market has a strength. There are so many markets today that have been more reinforced and strengthened because of technology. If you check your WhatsApp status now, I'm very sure every one of us have somebody that is selling something on his WhatsApp status. Everybody has something. If you're not selling products, you're selling service. Even myself, I know as I'm on WhatsApp status now, I already have what I am selling. You want to write this, come and meet me, I'll write it for you. Come and meet me, I'll write that for you. So everybody have technology app. So you have to take advantage of a particular market. It could be number, like in our country. Part of the strengths Nigeria have is the number. Whether we are utilizing it is a discussion for another day. But we have serious manpower. We have serious manpower which you can capitalize on. A business in a place like let's say Abia State, or a place like Ebonyi State. Let's use Ebonyi now. A business there and a business in a place like Kano, you see that they have different strengths. For instance, that Ebonyi is roughly about 2 million if they're up to. So Kano is about 4 million or more. Now the two different location determines even your strength of raw materials, your strength of manpower, your strength of market where you sell your finished products. So you have to capitalize on the strength. If you are you can see what, for instance, what you can see, for instance, what Dangote did, where his factory is located in his what they call it, his cement factory. If you can hear me, type 11 in the chat room. Let me be sure that we can all hear me. If you can hear me, type 11 in the chat room. I understand that the network is not stable. I don't know if it's everywhere. Okay, all right. For those in Abuja, maybe it's rain. Maybe it's the rain. All right, thank you so much. So, develop more sharply focused strategy aimed at market requirements. Don't make it wide and open, and be specific in your targets. Be specific in your target. There was somebody I wrote business plan for some years ago, and in her roadmap, how we did it for her was we had a 10 years plan for her, but first 5 years plan, we made it first 5 years, and she started. The plan was to start with production of sachet palm oil. Sachet palm oil. So her targets for that sachet palm oil were students in higher institutions. So you see, first of all, what she did was, it is focused. Her target market is focused, and that will also define the strategy you will use in achieving it to meet what the market needs. The next is identify gap in the market that the new products will offer. It might be new products, or you might be improving. It might be an innovation. So identify gap. What gap are you trying to fill? What gap are you trying? So take some few minutes now. We're going to do something. Take some few minutes now to think what you are doing now. If you don't have a business you want to have, or the company you currently work, what gap are you filling? Let's take some time out now and think about it. Gap. What is that gap? In the Blue Ocean Strategy, which I love that book so much, I read it often and often. There are 4 basic things when we talk about gap. When you're rendering your product or service, there should be 4 things that your business is trying to do. You're either trying to eliminate, reduce, raise, or create. I'll take that again. Someone can type it in the chat room so we can all see it. You are trying to eliminate, reduce, raise, or create. Can we use that to form an acronym, like something we can call eliminate, reduce, increase, or we can say innovate. Instead of raise, let's use innovate. Let's use innovate. Innovate, it's more business-like. Create. So let's go with eliminate. Eliminate, raise, innovate, and create. Let us get an acronym for it in the chat room. Every business should be able to eliminate, reduce, innovate, and create. Let's get an acronym in the chat room. Let's get an acronym for this in the chat room before we proceed. Eric, okay. Eric again. Eric or Rice, okay. So any of them will always remember. Do you have Eric in the house? Do you have an Eric in the house? Okay, not Eric from what I can see here. Okay, so all right, so we your business must have a gap, it is covering. In covering that gap is either what? Eliminating, is either what? Raising, is either reducing, innovating, or create. So when we talk about eliminate, before we move further, what are we looking at? We're looking at removing totally what is not important. And in the blue ocean strategy, it used a hotel. I've forgotten what the hotel it used. In trying to reduce costs, they look at what do people actually need in hotel. They also want to pass the night. So applying elimination formula, they eliminated or removed the person at the lobby, the guy who receives bags and what have you. So when you come in, you drag your bag yourself. Now reduce, they change the size of their bed. They change the size of the bed and even the room size, the room sizes. Now, what did they raise? They raised, now the standard of the bed was raised, it was softer. The room now had both an AC and a warmer. Okay. And due to the VIP present that always comes to I forgot the name of the hotel. It's, if you read the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, you will see that because of the kind of guests that comes there, they have to increase the presence of security personnel. So they're like, oh, wow, so we have more security personnel. And you can as well create something entirely new. I was watching a documentary of a guy who just created menu now in Kenya, Kenya or Uganda, either one of them, with urine. This is a new technology that the UN is already buying into it and trying to invest in it. So in your business now, can you look at what I call the pain points and see how you can use it to get your market segmentation? We'll all present on this before the end of the class. We have just done 50 minutes of our time. Now, how time flies. Does anybody have anything to say so far for what we said? Is there something that's a new discovery you've made from this lecture so far before we proceed? You can raise up your hand, I will mute you, and or if you can unmute yourself, you go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay. So in your organization now, or in your business, which you have or you wish to have, can you just type what's the gap you are feeling? What gap exactly are you feeling? And what strategy are you using to fill the gap? Are you using elimination method, innovation method, reducing method, creating new product entirely in your choosing business? Yes, you can unmute your mic and let us know, or you can type in the chat room. But I just want 2 persons. If I can get 2 persons, if I can get 2 persons who will unmute their mic, I would appreciate it very well. No one? No one, no one, no one. Okay. Either way, we'll still present. We can run, but we can't hide from it. We'll still present something. Okay, someone is raising up. And who is that? Okay. Mr. Fine, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
All right. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you for the presentation. I must comment you. This is a very good presentation, and what you have said remind me of those days in school, and I got the clear understanding of what marketing segmentation is all about, and it's very key. So you talk about gap. My own gap is within the environment where I live, and
Okay.
I look at some things that are not there that I would have leveraged on to bring in that area. But the issue here, the constraint here is that it requires capital intensive. So how can one leverage on that?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Fine. This is a free consultancy you're asking for. No problem. Is there any other question? So we can take it together or any contribution. Okay. You see, there are various ways, even big companies like where I am, there's no companies that don't have that financial constraint to do what they want to do. The only difference is that it might not be their immediate needs, it might be their future needs. So we have various donor agencies. We have financial organizations, which of course I don't advise people to visit our commercial institutions in Nigeria because of how unfriendly some of the policies are for SMEs especially. So there are organizations that give seed capitals in form of loan at a very, very mouth-juicy payback plan. There are also some organizations that give grants, though I noticed that recently the grant giving stuff have reduced, especially to Africa. I wouldn't categorically say why it has, so it's just being speculated why. But you can leverage on this. So that's why you have to, first of all, have, after you've identified your gap, have it documented. So you have a business plan. What you need to do after now is to write your business plan, have it documented. You can then begin to look for either shareholders that will join you in setting up the business at certain terms and conditions. It might be have ownership for 3 years with you or partner, whatever it is, you can have that agreement with them. There is this particular taxi company that I was one that wrote their business plan. When we finished, he also wanted a proposal, which he wrote to a particular organization. So I didn't know the organization was writing to even till date, but I know that afterwards he called me and was very grateful that he later got it. So if you have a very good business plan, and he said something, he said that this particular organization has met them severally and submitted a paper to them, but they didn't even call him, and nobody told him why. But when he submitted a business, they could see the prospects of this business, they see the profit and loss, they saw the cash statement, they saw the balance sheet, they saw the projections. Okay, this is actually a good place to put in fund. So have a documented business plan where you have your gaps, where you have your SWOT analysis. All this now we then likely attract investors to you. Thank you. So what makes a good segmentation? What makes a good segmentation? A good market segmentation framework should be what? Measurable. It should be measurable. It's not what you just do. So you can say, okay, in Abuja, Abuja is 2 million persons stay in Abuja. Okay. So therefore, what is the working class percentage of those in Abuja? You have working class percent of, let's say, 90% out of that 2 million, right? So you now say the market now is 180 million, for instance. Now, from that 180 million, which people are working class, which people can afford this service I want to render. I'm using, let's use, which business will we use? Okay, let's say laundry. People can really afford laundry. Those working in banks, or let's say those working 8 to 5. What is the percentage of this 1.8 million working 8 to 5? We have just maybe 50%. Okay, we have 50%, which is coming down to 900,000 persons. Can you see it? So you keep doing that till you get to the actual percentage. So if this is 8 to 5 now in the whole of Abuja, in a place like Kubwa, how many of 8 to 5 do we have around? We have maybe 20% of that 90,000. It must be measurable, or let's say 50%. So you have 450 persons staying only in Kubwa that are working 8 to 5. Now, even from that 8 to 5, can they afford it? Those that their income is between 40,000 to 50,000, can they really afford it? They'll just choose to live on Sunday. I will wash all my clothes myself, or those earning 100. So it must be measurable. It's a must. It's not a guesswork. That is why you have a very good advantage of taking this course. You can see the steps I've given you. We can continue the discussion afterward in our chat room. And that's the beauty of taking course with IIPM. You have access to all facilitators even after now. If you need any other service, any of our service after now, you get at the discounted rates and other materials. All right. So accessible, ability to reach the segment, you're able to reach them. That's what is important. Like I was trying to give an example then with this same laundry business. These people, would they even have the chance to bring their clothes to your doorstep? No, you may have to go and get them yourself. Are you even reachable? Okay, are they online or offline? All these are factors you consider. Substantial, large, and profitable to serve. You should also look at, and part of the things that determines this is having number that you retain, having very loyal customers that you retain. Unique in its response, distinct segment should respond differently to marketing. There are people that after you finish talking, let's say you just say, so how much is it? Okay, so here's one. But there are people that you have to preach and preach and preach and preach and preach. They will beg for discount. After you give them discount, that's okay, can you give me bonus now? After you give them bonus, you now say, okay, can you give me buy one, get one free? So this determines also how you factor in your segmentation. Stable in view should not change too often over time to allow for effective marketing. That's what we said initially. Identify ability to describe customer clearly. You must be able to define your customers very clear and succinctly. Very clear and succinctly. You should know them. So this business will cater for businessmen in that. And this also comes in from your mission and vision statement. That's a mission and vision statement. It's not just what you write. Some people just go and copy and paste and and dump, and dump in their business plan or in their proposal and say it's a mission and vision statement. What are the strategies you put in place to achieve that? When I go deep after your mission and vision, if I go down to your what's it called, your market segmentation of value, is there a strategy that I put in place to achieve that? Universal, able to fit in all relevant is the keyword, relevant customers, both desirable and undesirable to an organization. I hope we are following. So, segment type, we have based on location, based on region, state, or area. We have demography, age, gender, size, family, life cycle, income. It will appear that in a country like ours, we have more of two coming into play. Okay. Behavioral, occasion, loyal status, benefits, salt usage, rate, and so on and so forth. Psychography, segmentation divides a market into different groups based on socioeconomic class, lifestyle, or personal characteristics, personality characteristics. Others, mindsets, motivation, culture, aspirations. So let's do something. Can we pick a product and discuss it? Which product can we pick? Let's go to the bank. Let's use bank. Let's use bank. Bank. In so what we'll do when I call the name of the bank, in the chat room, you will list according to the superior order which one plays a key role in the bank. Just three. We just want three. I know there are others, but we'll pick the most closest three to the banking culture of how their customers, how the markets behave. Okay, so let's go with Union Bank. So Union Bank, what is likely to affect, or what is really affecting them today from the observation as a business developer? Pick the first three in order of hierarchy, order of importance, or order of influence. Just three. We know they can be, there are more, no single factor can be ruled out, but let us pick just three. The closest three. I know it's difficult to do, but let us try and try. Union Bank, yes, in the chat room. Also keep all your answers together. So Union Bank, demography, behavioral, and geography. Okay, beautiful. So more on Union Bank. Let's get some more. Visible everywhere. Really? I won't say anything. Just pick the headings. Is it geography, demography, behavioral, psychography, and others? One more person, then I call another bank. So Union Bank. So let's go to, I think I call this one, everybody wants to type. GT Bank. What influences them? What is their market segmentation based on what we have on our screen? Just three. The three that you know that influences them. GT Bank, Guaranteed Trust Bank. Okay, strictly blue ocean strategy. Focus on age. Okay. No, I want us to use what is here. It must be geography, demography, behavioral, psychography, and others. We have to stick to what is here. We have to stick to what is here so that we will all be on the same page. Okay. Demography, which has to do with age. Okay, so that means you are saying that first, gender, age of has a lot to do with maybe the young, assumably, if I'm thinking like you're thinking, Mr. Victor and Mr. Ahmed, that GT Bank has to do with the young persons, and followed by demography, which is to do with country, religion, okay. Psychography, which is the next one, different groups, social, personal characteristics, lifestyle, okay. So where does technology come in all this? Where are we going to really say technology come in all this? Any business now that is not leveraging on technology in one way or the other may not stand the test of time. Okay, so where does technology come in? We are more than this, but I just have only a few people participating, so everybody has to participate. Mr. Benito, if the institute does it, it won't be a bad idea if Mr. Ahmed has paid for this class. He should also be given certificate of activeness in class. He is the most active from my last class. I noticed that he is the most active in my class, followed by, though Dr. Alex, I've not seen him type, but I know Dr. Alex is also very active. But Mr. Ahmed Schreiber is very, very active. If I want to, if I want to choose just one active person in most of my classes or the two classes I've taken on this particular course, I would choose Mr. Ahmed Schreiber. Thank you so much. So I want other people now to, let's see how we can have 3 persons that are very active, or 5 persons that are very, very active. Okay, so we have in the chat room, we have, okay, Ahmed Schreiber says demography, behavioral, graphic, okay. Ifeanyi says union bank are visible everywhere, okay. Ahmed again says strict on business, okay. Ifeanyi says focus on age. Victor says demography. Schreiber says geography, demography, and psychography. Ikechukwu says demography, and all the graphics and graphic text to come with demography. Ifeanyi says geography. GP prides itself on technology with youth. As youth, the youth are the major drivers, hence strategy on providing solutions that scatters more for those segments. All right, we all answered well, you see. So you see that it's not what we are talking about, is not, it doesn't just doesn't come from the sky. What is this guy of GT Bank that they are advanced strategist? Is it Aleke or something like that? Lake something, I can't just remember his name. This is the chief strategist of GT Bank. I don't know if they still have that retainership. The way he thinks, Leke, yes, Leke Al Adler. Okay, so this, what he has done, what Leke has done, is using this, studying the market, studying the population to achieve where it has positioned GT, for instance. Go to a telecom. In fact, we can go on and on. All this comes into play. So you have to look at your business now. I don't want us to just, in the institute, we agreed now that we're not going to be teaching just we teach and you say, oh, this lecture was wonderful. In your business, we want to see all this practical in your business. We want to see it in your business. We want to see it coming into play. So you get your pen and paper and write this and see where you can, which the first 3 you should use before you go to the other 2. All right. market segment, market segmentation, market segment. Specific type of segments, which is the need-based segment, the need-based segmentation. This specific type of segment which splits current or prospective customers into homogeneous group based on the product and services needed. First, need-based segments into analyze what the customer needs are. What does this customer need? What do they even need? Do they really need their money to be safe, or they need ease of moving money around? You see, there are two different things. Do they really need their money to be saved, or they need ease of moving money around? Understand how to serve the different emerging segments. How do you serve different emerging segments? It's very important. And this will come into play when you have this generation Z, generation Z, generation Y, generation. What are those generations? There are about 4 or 5 of them. Can someone help us and list it in the chat room? In the chat room. Generation. I know of Z. I know of Z. I know of X. And can someone help us in the chat room? Z, X, Y. Okay. So you see, if you understand this generation, it will help you. It will help you in making your market decision. And in this, the most influential from my research generation, the most influential among these generation are those from the 1990s, which is the generation Z coming forward. Why? The generation Z influences even those before them. They influences those before them. They influences those after them. Okay. Generation Z are very, very influential in whatever we are doing. Very, very influential. Okay. So I think we really need to know this. I've forgotten, I know we have the Z, the X, the millennia. I don't think there is Y, Mr. Ahmed. I think it's Z, X, millennia, and baby boomers. Baby boomers. Let me have a place where I wrote it down. Get that. So while I do that, I will get it. So, but we have the Z, which is between 1995 to maybe 2015 or so. Then you have the millennia, which is between 1980 to 1994, of course. The millennia. They are also very influential. Yes, so the millennial generation Z are very, very influential. I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw a very elderly man. He was dancing with his son. He was dancing with his son, dancing seriously. His son is a generation Z, and I think the man should be in generation X, which is between 65 to 70 something. Okay, the line is 1980, right? So 79. Yes, 79. So he was dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing, and I think the man is in baby boomers, which is within 1944 to 1964. So him and the son and the wife, they were dancing. So you can see the influence, and they were busy trying to show themselves on social media. They were very busy trying to show themselves on social media. So all understand this. Sorry, this is a digression, but it's also important in your market segmentation. Determine the attractiveness of this segment. Okay. Effective market segmentation helps to accurately define industry, your market boundaries, because then you know whom you are competing about. You are competing with. Okay. You know whom you are competing with. Okay, so I've just checked on Google now. The Generation Z, I like to satisfy my curiosity. So we have generation, they will have the baby boomers, X, Y, Z. The Y is also called the millennial. Okay, so Mr. Ahmed is right, but I'm not also wrong. All right, so according to statistics now, the baby boomers, which is made up of those between 54 to 64 years old, are 8.3% of the world as of today. And no, this, I don't know how they go the statistics, but this is what I'm getting from Google now. Then the X, 36 to 54 years, made up of 31.8%, make up that 1.8% of the world, and 22 to 35 makes up 43%, 42.3% of the world, and those between 16 to 21 makes up 17% of the world. All right, so we proceed. Determine the size of the market and market opportunities, identify unmet customers, customized products, pricing, and distribution channels. Remember, we said this in when we're talking about packaging. Your target markets, when you effectively segment your market to arrive at your target, you determine how you package your products, you determine your pricing. Okay. An average man, like we are talking about the car, an average Nigerian just need a car that can take him to his office and bring him back home and carry his family to church and to social gatherings and so on and so forth. You don't want the one that when they enter, the car will then fit in. Once you sit in the car, the chair will shift to adjust your body. We know the car that does that now. The car will sit to adjust your body, press you. If you are very fat, it will expand. If you are very slim, it will come closer, shift your chair for you, just a button. An average person in Nigeria don't need that. So that's why you see that the market is not for them. And that is why those making that particular car, like someone rightly said, that it has a Lexus and maybe a Toyota. I'm very sure that if the person wants to go to a very big wedding occasion or party, I think I should go with my Lexus to this one, because the Honorable Minister of State will be there. And or since the president is coming, let me go with my Macy's, you know. But it's just backyard there. Give me the Toyota key, let me just go with Toyota. So you see the mindset, you see the different kind of thinking we have. Okay, slide step competition and grow the business and provide a foundation for sustained profitable growth. Market size. Market sizing is used to determine the total current and future potential sales for the competitors in the market. So, like I was giving an example about the Abuja market, the entire market size. We arrived there, we said, okay, everybody living in Abuja is 2 million. 90% of that 2 million is 180 million, 1.8 million. That is the market size where you have all the competitors in it. That is where you have all the competitors, all the product, all the services in it. Okay. So in this market size, there is no, at this market size, there is no segmentation yet. No segmentation between race, between beliefs, between age, no segmentation whatsoever. It is open for all. That is the market size. But it also aids in sales forecasting and business case development, stage of industry life cycle and competitiveness of business, market attractiveness for entry and exit analysis, company's relative position, drive development of strategy, hypothesis. So all these are the need to understudy the general market size and understand it. I want us to finish, then we're going to do some practical exercise, which we'll be running away from anyway. Providing superior customer service. Let me ask. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we should just take a 5 minutes break to stretch. Let's just take 5 minutes break to stretch. Okay. 5 minutes. We'll be back. This is according to my time, 11:35. So we'll be back by 11:40. Let's just stretch. Take water, ease yourself. Just have a stretch. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenna, for the section so far. I trust we are learning something, and the class is quite more practical. We've done something on marketing before, and we keep doing something on marketing till we're done. This is part 2 of marketing, and we still have part 3 of marketing, where we look at marketing innovation, blue ocean strategy, and all of that. So we are on a 5 minutes break, and the facilitator will be back in a moment. Please, for all of us that are going for the certification, please do ensure to take your attendance today. So the lecturer will be running on 2 sections concurrently. Is it concurrently or consecutively? Whichever one. So he will finish one and take on the other immediately. All right, so immediately after that, we'll take our attendance. So hopefully before 2 p.m., we'll be done for today's class. And then we'll take our attendance. The streaming is still live on YouTube. While we are taking on this break, let me quickly make this announcement. For those of us who could be joining us for the first time, please, it's important that if you're interested in certification, you understand that there are 2 levels in this program. We have the associate level, which we started since last week and ended yesterday. And the lead class started yesterday and will be ending by next week, Saturday. Now, everyone is expected to go through the class, either by being present or you take through the YouTube recorded sections. Today, as you're taking your attendance, you select your assignment. Your assignment is just a little presentation you'll be making. Your own could be on business planning, your own, another person's own could be on marketing plan, another person's own could be on customer relations, another person's own could be on product development. So wherever you find your own, just choose the one that you prefer most. Okay. Now, if you've not made some of the payments that are recommended, please, we encourage you to make the necessary payments. We made the class open because of the adjustment we had. And the adjustment is that for everyone who is taking through level 1 and level 2, we'll be giving you an extra certification. Okay, we'll be giving you a mini MBA at no extra cost. All right. Now, if you look at my screen, you will see the different costings. If for associate, if you're a member of IPM and you want to pay, your fee is, the total fee is 50,000 and the breakdown is seen on the screen. For non-member, the total fee is 65,000 and the breakdown is also seen on the screen. For certified lead business development professional, a member, the total fee is 65,000 and the breakdown is seen there. And the non-member is 75,000 and the breakdown is seen there. The essence of the breakdown is that even if you don't have all the resources to pay at once, you could pay according to the breakdown. Okay, so that you can have full benefit. After the class, which will be the lead class, which will be rounding up by next week, we'll take 1 week break and then we'll return back for the expanded curriculum on business management. For those of us who are interested in going for the MBA at no extra cost, you'll be required to take an extra class. So the sacrifice you need to make is to be available for the extra classes, and the extra classes will be covering some executive sessions from corporate governance to value innovation to business administration and several other things that will be coming. All right, so those are the, once again, by the end of the session today, do endeavor to take your attendance. Make sure you choose an assignment and start working on it. You develop your assignment in a slide because we'll be giving you time to make your presentation. Okay, so that we'll also evaluate what you've learned. By Saturday next week, there will be an assessment. The assessment is not an exam, it's just an assessment. So you prepare. It's going to be a 75 to 100 question assessment, objective. So you also evaluate yourself and see the depth of what you've learned. However, it's not an exam. Now, if you want to get access to your materials, you could pay for your materials and get the materials and start preparing for the assessment if need be. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. I'll be handing over back to the facilitator. Thank you, and do enjoy your class.
All right, thank you, my honorary Dr. Benito. Thank you so much. So we are back. We'll run up in the next 15 minutes. The next 15 minutes, we should be rounding up so that we can go for the next class, which we will take immediately. All right. Providing superior customer service. Providing superior customer service. You can use your customer service as a powerful way to set yourself apart from your competitors. It's very important. In every field you find yourself, customer service is very important. The other day we were having, let me digress a little bit, a conversation about human resource professionals. And I told them in the conference, I said, how you interview people, I mean, someone like me, if I'm in an interview, how the interview panel carry themselves determine whether we won't continue with the interview, or whether I'll just admit of it, I'm sorry, can we start this interview? I'm no longer interested in the position any longer. Why? I'm not comfortable with how the panel is carrying themselves, and I withdraw my application. So it's very powerful in every area you find yourself. Let me take, let's say a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, how do you advise your clients? Okay, you see this case, we can, even though it's criminal in nature, let the police, or let us, we can get a fiat from the Attorney General, we pursue the case criminal. After that, you can also pursue a civil case and seek for damage, and you educate. It's just by mere education can be a way of, carrying out your custom. There are so many ways it can make you, that can make you outstanding in your customer service. By emphasizing customer service, you can compete with large companies who may offer more variety, lower prices, and other perks you can't afford. That is why we say, carve a niche for yourself. You are not serving everybody, you are not competing with everybody. It can just be very good customers. I remember when I was in school, my 4 years in school, I was patronizing a particular girl in typing. I love customer service a lot, a very good customer service. So just the way she attended to me, so even when I come, I have a work that she's typing for me, and for my assignment, she's not finished typing it. She'll just say, no problem, no, take your time. I can go and tell my lecturer that I'm not finished typing. Customer service. And what did that do? I attracted so many other persons. That she know work, she can type, or she can. Our customer service is top notch. You see, there's something about customer service. It's very bad like that. You make one customer happy, the customer go home satisfied, and at best tell his or her wife, or tell her husband, vice versa, ask his or her spouse or friend, just one friend, and make one customer angry. This customer will tell the whole world, whoever cares to listen. I could remember I boarded a bus some time ago, and a man just started, "Look, I see you. This is how I went to this bank now. I'm just coming from this bank now. And look at what they did to me." Was also and people were not from that bank said, it's even high time I won't stop dealing with them. You can imagine. So this is just one angry customer, just one angry customer. So what I'm saying is, it's important that you use your customer service to differentiate yourself. Use your customer service to differentiate yourself. Use your customer service to make sales. Okay. Okay. Small businesses fall short in customer service category. Why? One of it is ignorance. It's very common. Very common. I went to purchase fuel during one of the fuel scarcity period, and I had gone before to buy in my car, buy in jerrycan. So I then went out with my bike to buy fuel. And while I was waiting in line, some other people would just come and outside the line and give the girl money, and she would put. I was like, come on, can you answer me? I'm waiting. And the girl was like, now who I want to answer, now I go answer. Is whoever I want to answer that I will answer. Wow. This is interesting. I kept quiet. And after everything, she just started putting fuel in my bike. And I stopped. I said, stop. Hold it. She stopped. I said, why didn't you reset the meter? She said, no, that she had all this thing now, she had put it inside my jerrycan, inside my my bike. I said, wow, just in less than, you put 5 liters, maybe 7 liters, according to what, like I was very angry. It's okay. Do you know what? I think we'll have to remove all the whole fuel here if it will get to that point. And then she said, the next thing she said, are you okay? Are you all right? I said, this is at that point I was like, this is the worst customer I've ever got in my life. And I told myself, no, I won't let this. It's not because of myself, but so that she won't do this someone in future. And I went to meet the manager, introduced myself, and called him. In fact, she was even saying nothing will happen. Why was she saying nothing will happen? Because it's a small business that they don't pay attention. Most fuel pump filling stations don't train their staff. They don't. Recently, when I wrote a training for my organization to train our staffs who are managing some of our fuel pumps, it was strange to them. I said, we have to do that. We have to do that because they need to educate even the masses on things to do. Why you should not don't use your phone, not because you just don't use your phone, but the benefits and the safety of that person should be what we should be selling. So small businesses don't pay attention to this. So we have to pay attention to our customer service. Go that extra mile in offering help to your clients. That could be your customer service. So if a customer have a problem, apologize before you start fixing the problem. Apologize. Telecommunications are number one in this. They fall on this table. Once you just call them, I didn't subscribe for a caller tune of 100 naira, and oh, we are very sorry, sir. Sir, did you say you didn't subscribe for caller tune? And he said, yes, I'm very sorry for that again. I remember a friend of mine was calling. I wanted to say, he said, sorry for yourself, Jare. Just refund me back my 100 naira. So the lady kept apologizing and apologizing. Eventually, she got the problem fixed. So apologize. Don't shift the blame. It's not me, it is the girl that is in shift A that did this one. It was the person that was in 9 shifts that actually he was the one that didn't post it. No. Apologize for that problem that occurred. Remember, I always tell people, when a customer comes complaining, the customer don't have an issue with you. The customer have a problem with the service or the product, and maybe by extension now the company. Depends on how you handle it. Make sure to let the customer vent their grievance, even if they are tempted to, even if you are tempted to interrupt them, give them a refund where applicable, where your policy says that new item, whatever, fix the problem. It depends on whether it's guarantee or on warranty. Repair mistakes immediately. Don't elongate. Elongating can even lead to legal cases. There is a case now against one of the leading electronic companies, and a lawyer friend of mine is not handling that because they delayed in fixing it. Not that they didn't even fix it, they fixed it. I think it took them 3 months. He waited till after they fixed it and then he sued them for delay and claiming about 50 million naira damage from, those legal terms, mental degradation, heart problem that happened to him during that period of not having his TV and stuff like that. Lawyers in the house will understand what I'm saying. All right, so keep in mind that a complaint about your company is an opportunity to turn the situation around and create a loyal customer. If you attend to a customer, if your turnaround time is quick, there is most likely that the customer will be happy. Typically, there is room for honest mistake. There's room for, factory problem, but how you handle it is also important. Keep feedback. Feedback keeps you focused. Ask your customers to rate your service on regular basis. That was what this Uber and Bolt started. Rate me. By so doing, that's part of the reason why many of these drivers are still trying to even behave very, very decent and modest. Remember, some of these drivers who are today driving all these e-taxify and what have you, we are formerly driving kabu and roadside vehicles. Their attitude when they were driving those vehicles is different. Even though now they are driving these e-vehicles that are still theirs, but their behavior is different. That brings me to another point, which let there be check-ins. Let your supervision be strong. Remember, we did that in corporate governance. You must supervise every process. You must supervise every staff. You must supervise every person. Okay, this can be done through a short questionnaire. We also did that in auditing of corporate governance, the last lecture, where we were talking about customers giving feedback. Keep questions short. Always let customers know the purpose of the survey is to serve them better. If they fill out the survey and have no problem, it is a reminder of what good service you offer. If issue arises, they should be addressed. And when they are addressed, you should give a feedback to the customer. Stay flexible. You must be flexible when it comes to your customers and clients. You hear things like policy is policy, policy is policy. Yes, policy is policy. I'm not saying break your policy, but create room for flexibility. Create room for flexibility. Create room for flexibility. This means doing a project for a client in a pinch, having an early morning meetings, even if you like to sleep in, and meetings on Saturdays, or if you usually reserve your weekend for yourself. A customer, okay, I was having an interview yesterday, day before on Thursday, with a particular account person for an accountant, and he told me, and when he was asked the question by someone of the panel, that can you tell us one of the places where you have it's a microfinance, he worked in a microfinance bank before applying that, where you've had integrity tests and you passed it. He narrated the story of how a customer brought 3 million to the bank, 4 million to the bank, and just left. The customer said, take Abba, his name is Abba, according to him. Abba, take this money. It's 3 million, lodge it to my account, lodge into my social account, and the customer left. When he counted the money was 4 million. He called this customer. The customer says it's not his money, that is 3 million is submitted. 3.5 million, sorry. And he kept arguing and arguing. And he went to meet the supervisor and said, supervisor, look at what happened. Supervisor who happens to be the MD and I think the CEO of the microfinance bank. Look at this customer. So what they did was, it's okay, you should lodge the 3 million to the account and keep the 500,000. Over the weekend, they volunteered, they sent in their auditors and some other to go to the customers' businesses from that particular branch where the money came from. And they audited all the receipts and voucher. They found one voucher that was empty. The money was not registered. There was just a problem of computation there. And when they pre-computed it, they found that that was where that 500,000 naira came from. But then they had already balanced the account as of that day to be 3 million naira. After that help, the customer was very pleased. The customer was very pleased. And according to them, the customer brought them so many other customers and was asking them if their bank can be his auditor. So you can imagine the extra service that they offered. All right. Always say yes. This does not mean giving up on your personal will to your customer, but it doesn't mean finding a way to help the customer with their request. There was a post I made, though this not directly applied to this, of how my MD visited one of our depots and we came impromptu. So the GM was not even aware that we are coming. The gatemen, of course, don't know us because, of course, they don't see us often. They don't know the MD of the company or myself. So we had something to carry and we asked them to carry. Of course, they couldn't leave their bits, which is very understandable that they can't leave their bits. And we asked them, okay, we know that there are people that you can call to help us carry this. They refused. They were just like, if we will not carry, just leave it now. If no carry, just leave it. And after everything, we called the GM to come at the gate. And ordinarily would have not entered through the VIP gate, but we decided to come to the general gate. So he treated us like the general everyday customer. Our anger was, so if this were really a customer, this is how this person would have treated, this security person would have treated the customer without offering extra help. So he wouldn't have said, no, he won't carry it for us. Okay, yes, I'll carry it, but I'll get somebody else to carry it for you because I can't leave my bits. So this should be applicable to everywhere. Okay, this can be done, but it will take time. This can be done, but not in the way you want it. Always say yes means the word that is not possible should be forbidden from use in business. You cannot afford to use them. No, this is not possible. It can't be done. It can be done. Try to avoid it. So on the promise, over deliver. Which people in our society does this a lot, that they always fail. Is there any service rendering sector that's promise and under deliver, that over promise and under deliver? Is there any sector that does that? I can't remember one now, but I know that the best way to approach this, let's say like a mechanic, is under promise, over deliver. So you can say, I will finish your work in the next, okay, like tailors, for instance, good. Tailors, you can say, I'll finish your work in the next 2 weeks, but you know that I can finish that work in the next 1 week. Finish the work in 1 week and call the person and say, your work is ready. The person is like, oh, wow, you were able to finish my work. Myself, when you come to me for business plan, I'll tell you 1 month, but I know before the 1 month, I can finish. So I won't put myself in a tight corner. So which other service do we render here? Which other service in the house? You can make so many examples. Those that make furniture, for instance, if you make furniture, you will say, okay, I'll finish your furniture in the next 2 months, the next 2 weeks, but maybe in the next 1 week. You are done. Okay. How to wow your customers? Be the first. Be the first. This can take it in various contexts. Context of being the first to render the service, being be the lead in the market, or be the first to even show concern to the personal welfare of your customer. It could just be you are the first to send birthday wishes to this person. Like myself, I always remember last year, and I remember the first person that sent me birthday wish. After them was my bank. After the person was my bank. So be the first to wish your customer wedding anniversary, be the only, be positioned as an expert, be different kind of networker, own an attribute, own a key value word, own a cause, own a unique business philosophy. Okay. So please pick 2 or 3 of these and practice it. When I first understood this, that was when I chose, because I was first a business management person before I became a HR. Okay, so that was where the name SME doctor came out from. So once you just mentioned SME doctor, it makes sense to what I am doing, that I consult for SMEs. It makes sense. It resonates with what the business is doing. And when I came to the HR, I didn't choose Oga HR because it made sense. In fact, people would just be like, my colleagues would just call me, I need this, I need that. When I finish, just say, Oga HR, thank you. So that name, I said, what's this? So it's easy. It's easy for people to, in the HR field, to say, okay, Oga HR. Oh, it makes sense. It's so choose a keyword in that suits your business. Every business have keywords. Every business have keywords. Every business have keyword. What is MTN? What is the keyword for MTN? MTN. Someone else should type Airtel. Someone should type Globe. What are the keywords that they use? It might be their motto, but once you just mention MTN, or once you mention that phrase, you will be like, oh, MTN. Okay, once I mention, yeah, everywhere. Once I mention data is life, what am I talking? Which organization am I referring to? Data is life, or data is everything. Data is everything. Is it Globe? I thought it's Airtel. Okay. Yes, Airtel is data is everything, or data is life. Why Globe is grandmaster of data. Good, yeah. So you have to have that. So just like let's go back to the car now. So if we did our lecture, you understand. Let's go Mercedes class, right? Or luxury. Lexus, BMW, Volkswagen. What is this other car? Opel, Audi. You see, so when you mention these names, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? That is how to register your mind, your business name in the mind of your customers. That is how to mention. Keyword I always tell people when I want to do pricing is value. Once I just tell you, you ask me, okay, I want to do ATS compliant TV, and you're like, how much? I say 15,000. It's like, it's too cost. I'm like, no, don't say it's too cost. Look at what it can do for. I need to sell value. That what you are getting is value for your money. It's not this thing. You can go online and get what I do CV to fight for, but you're getting value for your money and personalizing what is on your CV to be you to reflect you. Okay. In that case, okay, no problem. So you have to be able to sell that value. Integrity. It may be integrity that you are selling. That might be the philosophy of your business. Integrity. Okay, so we are done already. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I think we are just 8 minutes after 12. So I think in the next class, if we have questions, answer, or contribution to this particular lecture. So we have contribution to this particular lecture. We are open. I would love to hear your contribution. I would love to hear your what you have to say, what you have to ask. All right. So in the absence of that, we'll be going to our next class, which has to do with business operations. Where are you? But that will be, we'll just take a very short break before we come back to that. After I introduce the class, we will take a short break and okay, so the next class we are having now is operations and logistics. I want you, if you follow the other class that we just finished, to type the name of the title of the course in the chat room. The course we just finished, the title, without looking at what you've written, or maybe what you've screen grabbed. Without looking at it, can you type the course in the chat room?